Now it's time for the show.
Do this look like work to you? Nah. Looking at the lights like it's all of this for me. Everyone tonight is here. All of this for me. Hands in the air, yeah. All of this for me. Bottles over here. All of this for me. All of this for me. All of this for me. Light fast, light flash. All of this for me. All of this for me. All of this for me. Bottles bringing bottles out. All of this for me. You for real?
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome into the Rome Show, the evening edition of the Rome Show. Disclaimer before I even get into it. We got this 7 o'clock thing started. not necessarily on the right foot, but we're here. We're okay. Ruben, the master producer back there, said we can take this thing some minutes past the 8 o'clock hour.
Ruben!
So we got you, and that voice next to me, that is my brother, Rocky Romanella. I am Andrew Romanella. We are the Rome Show. Maybe it's the Rome's Show?
Oh, I like it.
For the
Plural.
evening, we will take you past the 8 o'clock hour. I got a lot of stuff for you on the docket today. One, we're super stoked to be in the evening hour.
Super.
That is why Rocky's here. He's a driving force as to why I do a lot of this stuff. So I figured there's no better person to be in studio with me than the guy that supported me doing it so much. And he's not in here as an expert, ladies and gentlemen. He's literally in here to be in here and just talk through the microphone. So just understand, it's not like we're coming in here and doing this special interview. He's here for the full hour to say whatever he feels.
I'm like Mike Golick Jr. I just get to show up because my dad's the sponsor.
Nailed it. Remember, you can get us on the social media. I'm at Coach Romo24. He's at Coach Rocky917. On the Coach Romo24 gram, we have a bunch of polls still going up. You got another hour to vote. Thank you to over 100 people. Yes, I think I said that correctly.
Triple digits.
Over 100 people that voted into the I don't even know what adjective to put on it.
I voted.
Invigorating.
Exciting. It's exciting.
Stimulating questions that I was asking last
yes.
night. We will dive into that a little bit. Full show lined up for you. Remember, you can call in 807-609-2492. That's I said that backwards.
609-807-2492. Bringing in the righty to help out.
I just absolutely said that backwards. That is awesome.
Thanks, Ruben.
609-807-2492. Call in. There's a few people that were really pumped after they saw the questions last night, then found out you were going to be on the show.
Wow.
So I hope they call in. Let's get into it, okay? It's straight off the Romes tonight. That fires me up. You got to remember, and I don't think you do because we took a week off last week, but Straight Off the Rome is brought to you by VM Sports. VM Sports, you go to vm-sports.com. Check out the event where you can watch a Jets game with Wayne Corbett, okay? Ooh. The Jets are on a 2-game winning streak. It's getting exciting, okay, to a degree. But you can watch the game with Wayne Corbett, talk to him about his great Jets career. I'll be there. Wide World of Rome. We'll be doing a Q&A with Wayne Corbett as well, a meet and greet, some food, all that great stuff. That is December 1st, okay? When you go to vm-sports.com and you use the promo code ROMESHOW25, that's Rome Show, the number 25.
Rome Show 25.
25% off your purchase at vm-sports.com. Honestly, I could go a multitude of different directions.
Multitude.
But I need to get something off my chest before we really dive into something, okay? Colin Kaepernick
sucks.
Does not want to play football in the NFL anymore.
No, absolutely not.
I'm sorry. You don't do what you did on Saturday night. And for those that don't know, Colin Kaepernick had a workout scheduled with 25 teams. He's supposed to do it at the Mercedes-Benz Dome, I think it's called, in Atlanta. An hour or two before the workout, said he didn't want to sign some waiver the NFL was giving him, switched the workout to someplace an hour away. Only 8 teams came. And then he ripped the NFL after the workout was all said and done. So I just want to say this, and we don't have to be on this for a while.
Okay.
I'm done with it.
Same.
I'm done with it. You don't want to play football.
No, absolutely. Why would you play football?
It makes no sense to me.
I think he gets a bigger endorsement deal from Nike if he doesn't play football.
Why?
Why else would he be doing it? It doesn't make sense.
to
It
me-
doesn't make sense. The guy's been protesting for 3 years. They give him a chance to throw the football, and he doesn't want to throw the football.
And then he protests again. That's all this is.
Yes.
That's all this is. So I don't want to hear it about Colin Kaepernick anymore. I just had to get that off my chest. I'm tired of it, and I need him to go away. And I need the NFL to realize it's the NFL and say, what are we doing here? We don't need to entertain this anymore.
They got a bigger issue in Myles Garrett.
Yeah, I agree. And I wanted to ask you about this, okay?
Okay.
We can get a little personal.
We can.
Okay. So obviously Myles Garrett gets suspended for the remainder of the year. Roger Goodell came out with some really harsh words for how he felt about Myles Garrett, even talking about how he has to really see some remorse if he wants to reinstate him. Now, I know this. Some people listening know this. Not all people know this. But probably 3 years ago now, right?
2 years ago.
2 years ago now, you were in a men's league hockey game
Yes.
in which you got into a scuffle with another person on the opposing team,
It happens.
in which he took his helmet and swung it and hit you across the face.
Yeah.
And
So
it wa-
I've been hit in the face with protective gear before.
So outside of Mason Rudolph, you are the only other person that probably knows what that feels like.
It hurts. I tell you what, man. I hope Mason Rudolph doesn't have a concussion.
So what were the ensuing repercussions after this happened to you?
After this happened to me, I had a pretty severe concussion symptoms for pretty much a full year. And
stitches?
Yeah. Oh yeah. So you get hit in the face with a helmet.
Feel
like you're
free
gonna
to dive
bleed.
in.
Yeah, I'll get in. So we got into a little bit of a it was a fight. I mean, we didn't even I didn't want to fight. I had to for whatever reason based on the circumstances of the game. And
In the men's league. I just
and
wanted
by
to
the
remind
way, by the way,
Okay.
I'm not afraid to admit I'm 0 for my life in fights. So I don't think
this is
I've
not a
ever
strong
won.
suit for
No,
you. Okay.
obviously not. And I want to go to work the next day without a black eye.
Fair.
So you play defense,
Right.
Which is, you grab a jersey and you tuck your chin under your shoulder and you try not to get punched in the face, pretty
Right.
much. And ultimately, you get into a wrestling match and you want to get that person to the ground because
It's
the
o-
rule
then
of
it's over.
thumb is the man, because you go by man law, or not like man, like honorable, like gladiator type.
In
law.
hockey, right?
In hockey, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's women's hockey too. They fight just as much as the men. Anyways,
I believe that.
if you hit the ice, the fight's over.
Got it.
We hit the ice.
Okay.
Getting up.
Thinking the fight's over.
As I was rising to my feet, my helmet was then in his hand because he had ripped it off my head.
Oh, wow. So it was literally the exact same thing.
Yeah, so then, left hand across. So imagine getting punched in the face, but with a hockey helmet.
And now, did he have a cage on it?
Yeah, there was. No, actually, I don't wear a cage. I wear a half shield.
So, but there was still something else also attached to it.
Yeah, I don't know what cut me. It was just
Wow.
probably the force of the blow to my forehead.
And then you just had an unbelievable amount of stitches.
There was
It was a Harry Potter looking.
Yeah, it was.
scar
There was
for a
definitely.
while.
Yeah, it was lightning-ish.
So now, okay, so how angry does one get? Because like when I watch Mason Rudolph's reaction, like the anger that probably goes through your body, you probably don't realize you're injured at first because you're so mad some dude just hit you across the head with
Yeah.
a helmet.
Yes, because I had work the next day. I had, Jen was at home. She was pregnant. So I was like, what kind of stress am I going to put on this woman? I got to call
Yeah.
her to come pick me up at the hospital.
Because I got hit
This
in
is
the head
awful.
with a hockey helmet.
If I couldn't stop bleeding.
So now the next question I have for you, okay, before we move on here, because now you get to the Myles Garrett situation, and you see the NFL suspends him, right, for the remainder of the year. He has to be reinstated, all that other stuff, right? Do you agree? Should it be harsher? Do you feel like something like this is just absolutely ridiculous and come down with the hammer so it never happens again?
No, I think you have to be 100% on it. He shouldn't play in the NFL ever again.
Really?
I mean, maybe, but Ray Rice hasn't played in the NFL.
That's true, but I feel like that's two completely different situations.
And I could be of the public saying that's assault with an aggravated that's aggravated assault with a deadly weapon.
Right, you're good. That's a good point. And
Why, if it's on the football field, does that change the law? Domestic violence is an offense with the law, not with the NFL. But
Right.
assault is also.
Yeah, and if you did
Just
that on
because
the
it happened
street,
on the feet, exactly.
right, you would be in a lot of trouble.
That's correct.
I agree with you. I agree, and I think that and Big Rock was saying this before we came to the show. There's no one that's bigger than the game, right?
No.
And I think again goes back to Kaepernick, goes to Myles Garrett. You talk about Antonio Browns and Odell Beckham Jr.'s and all these dudes, right? You're not bigger than the game. So, like, your actions, whatever they are, whichever path they go down, they're not going to be bigger than the game. And at the end of the day, the NFL is always going to stand.
Oh yeah.
And in theory, the NFL doesn't need Antonio Brown. The NFL doesn't need Odell Beckham Jr. It doesn't need any of these people. They are mere, spans of time that make up what the NFL's history is. So I think that's what sometimes these guys forget, and then they do some stupid action like this, and then it's all this remorse. And it's like, my man, it took for you to do that to realize that this is a stupid decision? Like, the common sense didn't come out before?
Yeah, no, it's listen. You make a bad decision, and you make a decision out of anger. You make a decision to have some fun, like whatever it is. I mean, there's always someone else who's ready to play or who's ready to take your spot, and so sorry.
You ever heard of Wally Pip?
Exactly.
Can't get Wally pipped. That's the worst thing in the entire world. All right, listen. Last thing I got straight off the Rome, because we literally came off the Rome today with this head story.
No doubt.
I've decided in watching football that I'm not going to make a judgment on any of these athletes until they're 4 years into the league.
Now you're talking about skill, not actual personality.
Yes, I
Like
don't.
athletic skill.
Yes, I don't believe, and again, get at us, 609-807-2492, if you have your own feelings on any of these topics. I just don't believe you can make an honest assessment before that. And here's why. Every other minute, we have a guy that is a first-year quarterback that looks like he is going to be the next Peyton Manning. Then the next week, he has a semi-decent to bad week, and it was like, why do we ever draft him? We have dudes like Jared Goff who have a bad year, then they have a really, really good year, then they have a semi-decent year, get paid a lot of money, and now they're having another semi-decent year, and it's like, oh my God, the Rams wasted so much money, right? There's two things wrong with that, okay?
Tell me the two.
Have you ever thought about, right, the people that are, making the decisions? Sometimes, and even the best coaching staffs, can make terrible decisions, i.e. Atlanta Falcons Super Bowl 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay? That's the same guy. That's the head coach of the San Francisco 49ers who was making those play calls that lost them that game.
Crazy.
Right? The second thing is these dudes, sometimes they need time to develop. Like, we can't put a timestamp on development. Like, and as a college recruiter, I see it all the time. More times than not, you're kind of wrong about where you project a kid to be. Because honestly, part of projection is hope and want. So you're hoping that Daniel Jones is the franchise quarterback. Yeah, you saw a good game, so now you really want it to happen.
Yeah, I think that's the coaching and the over analytics, and between the coaching staff and the analytics staff and the referees, the game is so controlled, and everything is, and you can only have a job for 12 games or 16 games.
Yeah, everyone gets fired
barely
every
a year.
minute.
So now you've got to think you're this wizard, come up with these ridiculous schemes.
Mm-hmm.
And you should just be saying hike and throwing short passes and handing the ball off to Saquon Barkley, and then you can develop your quarterback and win games, by the way.
100%.
Like, why can't we just simplify some of these offenses for kids, play some smash mouth football?
Well, it's funny, too, because you look at the Ravens, and they're like the opposite of everyone else. Like, oh, you can't have a quarterback that runs. They're like, dude, he's really good at running. So we're going to give him the football and let him run. That's it. We don't need to reinvent the wheel. We can do the simple things. Now, I do agree.
The Rams won the game last night by running the football.
Todd Gurley, best game in a year and a
He
half.
had the most touches. They ran the football the whole game. They had no wide receivers. What's wrong with winning a game that way?
Now, this is one thing I do subscribe to, though. I don't think you should give running backs a lot of money.
Why?
You look at Todd Gurley.
You know what? I'm so sick and tired of running backs. You know why? Because, number one, you know what? Fantasy. Go collect 6 running backs in fantasy because they're the most valuable thing in the history of the world when it comes to scoring points, right? Yet, they get on the field. They're the biggest liability. They have the shortest career.
There's
and
3 of them.
And no one ever wants to give them the ball.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
And there's 3 of them on every roster.
It doesn't make any sense. And then for what reason? The guy runs two balls for 40 yards, then needs to come out because he's not the guy to get you 3rd and 1. Yet he just moved the ball 45 yards down the field for you.
You know what my favorite is?
Jeez.
When the dude gets
hate
6
running backs.
handoffs in like 56 yards, and then some other guy comes in for a 1-yard
Yeah,
touchdown.
just scores a touchdown. That's not right.
Like you need that guy. I agree with you. 100 that right there is why I wouldn't pay them money. Because you just proved the point. They really aren't they're interchangeable. Besides Christian McCaffrey and a healthy Saquon Barkley, name another running back that's not.
But I would argue that half of them fall. Half of them aren't relevant or non-replaceable because their coaching staff makes decisions where they're like, oh, analytics says I need to have three running backs. I need to have one for third down, one for second down, one for fourth down, and you know what? I should probably have a fourth in case we want to run a fake on a punt.
Yeah, right. I agree with you 100%. Listen, to me, football is the one sport where you see the same mistake made over and over and over again, and dudes still get jobs. Over and over and over again, and guys still get jobs.
Listen, by the way, your theory's right, and you just have to look at the New England Patriots.
Yeah.
Because you put anybody into that system, no matter
And
who
they're
they
good.
are, where they're drafted, undrafted most of the time, and they win.
It's a good point.
Because they probably keep it more simple than anyone else out there.
I agree. Straight off the Rome, brought to you by VM Sports. Head over to vm-sports.com. Get your tickets for the dinner or the watch party, I should say, with Wayne Corbett, former New York Jetropolitan. Okay, Rome Show 25. Rome Show 25 to get your promo code. I hope to see a bunch of you humans out there. All right, 609-807-2492. Coach Romo 24. Coach Rocky 917. It's the Rome Show. I'm Andrew Romanella. It's Rocky Romanella. We got our fabulous producer in the back, Ruben, who I learned last show that I was here can talk to us. So I don't have to yell through the wall anymore. So that's super cool. Call in. Tune in on the Facebook. We got some people tuning in on the Facebook. That always fires me up. Get us on the Twitter. Get us on the gram, whatever. We're on the footballs. Okay, so we're going to stay on the footballs because I threw out, and I said it before, some really thought-provoking questions for the fans last
They were.
night.
I enjoyed them.
The Romo Sapiens responded. Okay, they responded in a big way. So the first question, okay, Rock Jr., or what was Rube calling you? RJ?
Ruben called me RJ earlier.
All right, RJ, here's the deal. Okay? And I love nicknames. I'm a huge nickname guy.
You've had
Huge.
probably over 100 in your life.
Huge nickname guy. And I like giving people nicknames too. All right. So, first question I asked the Romo Sapiens, okay? Who is the NFL MVP? Okay? Most valuable player. The Romo Sapiens responded in a heavy way with Lamar Jackson. 52 votes for Lamar Jackson.
Agree.
I would agree 1,000%. I mean, he literally is the most valuable player.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on. Well,
Done.
I did disagree with this, though, that Russell Wilson was second and Christian McCaffrey was third.
False.
Yeah, I agree. I think that it should be.
Christian McCaffrey is worth 10,500 fantasy dollars on FanDuel, which is a lot.
So that's really what's going to get you fired up. Some people wrote in. Your own wife wrote in. She said, "Def not Colin Kaepernick. He's the LVP." Jen Estacosta,
Wow.
dynamite dropping.
Classic.
Dynamite dropping.
Nothing like labeling someone the least valuable player.
I got a few Saquon Barkley write-ins. Oh, you the real MVP. Thanks, Sean. Russell Wilson was a big-time pick for these people.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I mean, but Christian McCaffrey and Lamar Jackson are just that much more important to their teams. I mean, Russell's been doing it for a while. It's probably more a testament to his great career than just this one season.
I agree. It's almost like the LeBron James effects. Like you want, actually, he's going to be in the conversation every year.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what he does for his team. Okay. Now, that was really, it got the people started. Okay. Someone actually wrote in Danny Dimes. That makes me laugh. So
Dimes is good, man.
I know. I think he's going to be good too.
You got a bad play caller.
Yeah, I agree. See, I agree. Sometimes it's the
Bad
coach.
play-
And
it
that's
is.
why I'm not, for 4 years, I'm not making a judgment on these people. Mitchell Trubisky, I'll make a judgment on.
Yeah, he
But look what
sucks.
we learned about Jameis Winston and Marcus Mariota. After 4 years, what did we all say? Okay, we realized they're not good enough.
Do you think that if Marcus Mariota was drafted to a different team, he would have had a better fate?
Maybe if he was drafted to the Ravens. To me,
Right.
it looks like every athletic quarterback should be drafted to whatever Harbaugh's doing there because it works.
That's a good theory.
This is the first time in the history,
amazing.
in like the recent history, where people are like, "Oh my God, you can have a running quarterback," and like everyone's favorite statement is, "Oh, there's no such thing as an old running quarterback, just young running quarterbacks." Maybe we haven't figured out the system, and maybe Harbaugh's doing it.
You could argue that it was actually Russell Wilson that broke that mold
I agree with you. That's a fair point. Okay,
because he was the first.
he was, but
Who's before him? That
I
could
don't
run?
think. But I don't. Think,
Michael Vick.
But true. But here's my
No
thing.
Super Bowl.
Right, but that's not even that though. Like Russell Wilson
Puppy
is not
Bowl.
in a. Oh, come
Sorry.
on. Come on. Like I knew you were thinking it. You didn't need to say it out loud. I could see you thinking it. Well, the thing with Russell Wilson though is he's not doing it in a system that's designed for him. I think he's just that good that he's when the play breaks down, he's showing that athleticism. Same with Michael Vick. I don't think Michael Vick had a system that was built for him. I think he was just running away from
Nah,
defenders.
They just said hike.
Right. So, yeah. Well, and speaking of Michael Vick, because he played for this team, will the Eagles make the playoffs?
No.
Resounding no. And I got some really funny ones. Psh was one. Hard no.
I don't think anyone from
No.
the NFC East should be allowed to enter the playoffs.
I agree. Laughing face no. No. You damn right.
That was an Eagles fan.
No. 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 I mean, people really don't like the Eagles, and a hell no.
Yeah,
So
no one likes the Eagles.
the reason why they're not going to make the playoffs, besides the fact that you're a Giants homer fan, is that
Super homer.
they're 5-5, and the last NFC wild card spot right now is the Minnesota Vikings at 8-3.
Yeah, there's no. It's mathematically.
It's
you're
just it's a lot of ground.
You got to
to
go on a
cover.
run.
No, you do, and the Vikings have to start really, really sucking.
And if
Okay,
you can't beat the Patriots, who cares?
I agree with you 100%. Here's what we're gonna do. Okay, and I agree about that point, by the way, because really, isn't that what it comes down to? Like,
Yes.
if you're gonna be judged by whether or not you can beat the New England Patriots, I think that's why.
Eli Manning
Si-
should be in the
Yeah!
Super Bowl. I mean, in
It's
the
a
Hall of
si-
Fame.
It's a side, and it's a side note as to why I think people have been okay with the Giants' mediocrity over the last like 8 years, because
Well,
it's
yeah,
like
when you show up with 2 Super Bowls, I mean, yeah.
and you're the only team that beats the Patriots in the Super Bowls. I mean, the Eagles have now done it. So really, if you are an NFC opponent,
We got Tom Brady in his prime.
you did. That's another conversation. He doesn't
We were
really
the
like
first
himself.
ever to knock
All
him
right,
off.
here's what we're gonna do. Okay,
Set the standard.
we're gonna set the standard. And I know the show is slightly pushed back a little bit, but we're still gonna stay on our time with our break here. Okay, because I have 4 more polls on the backside of the break that are not. Some of them are sports related, but they can make you laugh,
They're
and I
just
think
fun.
they're gonna get you excited. So here's the deal: 609-807-2492. Calls on the flip side of the break. Okay. Coach Romo 24 on the gram, on the Twitter, Coach Rocky 917, whatever, dude. Chime in. Get on the Facebook. Do the whole thing. We are on Hamilton Radio Channel 2, facebook.com/Andrew.Romanella. We are going to pay some bills real quick here, and we will be right back after this. Ooh, I like that vibe, Rube. Are you looking to become a better leader, whether that's in business, in sports, or in life, and you haven't found a book yet to help you get to that game-changing aha moment? Well, we have the book for you. Tighten the Lug Nuts, The Principles of Balanced Leadership. Tighten the Lug Nuts will help you get to that game-changing leadership moment. Available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and iBooks, or at 360managementservices.com. That's the number 360managementservices.com. Pick up your copy today and start changing your leadership styles. Hey, what? We are back here on the Rome Show. All right, having some laughs.
Welcome back.
We're having some laughs on that quick little break right there. Hearing from 360managementservices.com. Some people did chime in on the Facebook. I got a Cordell Stewart reference.
Wow.
Yeah,
Good for him.
on the Facebook. Jamie Quinn. I'll give him the props right there.
That's a
Jamie Quinn.
throwback.
Yeah. Oh, hell no. No Beagles. I couldn't agree more. Definitely Saquon Barkley, hands down. I can't.
Saquon's misused.
It's this, but this is the same reason why would not be able to give the MVP to Mike Trout. I disagree that he won the MVP this year. He didn't play the full season. Like, I get it. He's still top 3 in home runs.
Who lost?
I honestly don't even know.
Well, then, if you can't even think of him, maybe he wasn't even that good.
Well, to me, it's just the point of playing like 95 to 100 games and still winning the MVP. I couldn't do that with Saquon.
Could have given it to a pitcher, you know?
Andrew Romanella, Rocky Romanella here on the Rome Show. Clearly not agreeing on the MVP voting. But we might agree on this, okay? So I asked the Romo Sapiens, again, on the gram, okay? If you tune in on Sunday nights, okay, sometime between the hours of 8:07 p.m. and like 10:02 is usually when I end up figuring out I need to put something out for the next day, you'll be getting some poll questions, Okay, from here on out, getting ready for the Monday night show. What's better? New Year's Eve, Thanksgiving Eve, a Super Bowl party, or do you subscribe to none of those three?
No, I'll choose the 3 just because, I don't want to be outside. But I'm going to say out of those 3, Thanksgiving Eve.
Yeah, that's your number one.
I hate New Year's Eve.
I know you.
2
do.
things happen. There's only 2 things possible at New Year's Eve. 1, you get blackout drunk.
Yep, that's fair.
2, you cry all night.
All night, yeah.
Someone's crying. You're having an emotional night. There's tears everywhere.
You know what we should do for New Year's Eve? Top golf.
That'd be fun.
That'd be a great idea.
That would be fun. We should go kart racing too.
What do you think the people voted?
Super Bowl.
Of course.
Which doesn't, you know what? But Super Bowl backs up to a Monday.
I know. That's what I don't understand.
So it can't be as good.
And here's
as you
my
want it to be.
argument for Thanksgiving Eve. It's the only night of the year where everybody is on the same page, besides people that work in malls because they're doing Black Friday.
Or Walmart.
But yeah, or Walmart. But like everybody, like majority of the world is like, yo, we don't have work tomorrow.
No.
Like we just get to eat and watch football.
Yeah, and you're probably spending it with some good people.
Yes. So I would rate Thanksgiving Eve, Super Bowl party, then none of the above before I ranked New Year's Eve. And it's so funny too because like
tough.
I know, and when like you're in college, it's like, oh my god, I spend the New Year's Eve. I disagree now.
No, New Year's.
I'd rather spend a good Thanksgiving.
There's too
Eve.
much riding on it.
Yeah, I
There's
agree with
so
you.
much
And then
riding on
it's
New
like,
Year's
well, if you
Eve.
don't have a good New Year's Eve,
Like your whole
your year sucks. Like all 365 days are gonna suck because this
the next
one
4 hours is like I have a decision. I have a decision to make in the next 2 minutes. Going to determine my next year.
Next year,
Might as well pack it up
right.
and go live in the basement.
But this is why people probably wake up with negative mindsets because they believe it.
Yeah, I know.
I believed it probably for some point. Like, oh my god,
I just don't.
it matters. It matters.
Your relationships riding on
Yeah,
it.
it's ridiculous. It is.
It's way too much pressure for me.
So we clearly agree. Thanksgiving Eve, and plus, you're not like celebrating anything.
You're celebrating life.
That's it.
You're thankful to be alive and
Yes.
with the people that
Well,
you're about to drink
Drink
like
a lot
6
of
to 10
beers.
beers with.
Drink a lot of beers and eat late night fried chicken with. All right.
Or maybe find a good gyro truck,
Oh
like a gyro.
yeah.
There was a good one in Burlington, Vermont, Church Street. There was a good gyro truck.
Really?
Yeah.
See, that's where I think Rutgers University does that very well. They
No,
have
grease trucks aren't around anymore.
Really?
No, you have to go to they have like a store
It's like
now.
a grease stand.
Yeah. It's like
Oh.
a retail location. I think.
Grease,
I think
grease
they're-
Trucks LLC.
I think they're gonna franchise.
Yeah, maybe we'll own a grease truck soon.
Yeah.
All right, moving forward. Okay, because the fans, I told you, the Romo Sapiens were locked in, and clearly your wife was really locked in, and I love it.
Number
Love
one
it.
fan.
Number one fan. So, Esther Costa, always chiming in on the gram. Okay, so she says there are a lot of because I asked the people, just tell me what you want to know. She said, I think it's so crazy. Is this how I'm interpreting it? So tell me if I'm wrong.
Okay.
How many different events happen at one sporting venue?
Yeah, I think that's cool. So she's talking about like Madison Square Garden in the morning could play hockey, and
Right.
at night could play basketball.
And then the next day could host a Billy Joel concert.
No doubt, and probably is.
No, it's not could. It happens all the time.
Guys got a residency at the most famous arena on earth.
Mind blowing. So all right, so that good because I wanted clarity on that because I thought that's what she meant, and it's true.
Well, think about it. It's cool. Now they're turning stadiums into hockey rinks,
Yeah, and they're turning baseball stadiums into golf courses.
which we didn't
We
do
did.
this year.
Yeah, I know.
But very cool. If you have a
Yeah.
chance to get a stadium links in your town, you should definitely
Speaking of the head injury from prior in the show,
go. Oh my God, the first ever.
we went stadium links golfing
The
that
next-
day. Or maybe it was
No, it was
2 days
later.
later.
Yeah, my head blew up. Oh my God.
Yeah,
We took that picture with those dudes. I was like, I'm going to sit out of this one.
I'm sorry, I have like I got 4 heads right now. Oh, that's really funny. All right. This one made me laugh, and I knew you'd appreciate this. This is from our head field hockey coach at FDU. Okay, when I said, tell me what you're thinking, she wrote, field hockey rules. And I love that so much because
Stick above the waist, whistle.
if you watch the game of field hockey, and I spend a lot of time with this,
No lefties in field hockey.
yeah, that's crazy. It's crazy. And like the rules, sometimes you don't know why the whistle. If it hits someone's foot, it's a whistle. There's a lot of whistles. So before we, I'm going to, dive into my last poll question because it relates to the field hockey question.
Yes.
I
it
asked
does.
this, okay? This is the best thing I've ever asked. Thank you. Shout out to Katie Fissel for helping me come up with this poll question.
Great question.
What sport has more whistles? Okay. Field hockey or women's lacrosse?
Field hockey. Actually, I don't know.
You think right? Yeah, think about it for a second. Like field hockey, excuse me,
Who has the worst goggles?
field hockey doesn't have goggles.
Yeah, so I guess it's women's lacrosse.
So women's lacrosse takes that one home. The people say field hockey 54% to 66%, 46%. Wow. Okay.
I used to think that the game was only allowed to be played for 10 seconds at a time.
What, field hockey? And then they had to blow a whistle. I agree. I mean, there are whistles for everything.
You don't know the rules because of all the whistles.
And so-
I don't even know why they still do the that crazy corner kick thing.
What? No. That there's like a strategy behind that.
No, I get there's a strategy to executing it. I just don't understand when it happens.
Oh,
and
like
when
what happens?
They just line up over there.
All of a sudden the ref, and that's the only time the clock stops.
Wow.
On a corner and a
Learn
goal.
something new every day.
There you go. Well, I think it's field hockey, more whistles. A lot of people chimed in on that one.
I think there's a lot more yelling in lacrosse, though. They yell ball, ball, ball when
Oh.
they play defense.
And then when the ball's on the ground, they all yell ball down. Like, yeah, dude, we know. We see it.
Well, no, I mean, football guys yell fumble. Same thing.
Yeah, but like I feel like that's different though because I'm going out here to cover that dude.
We throw a football around the office, and sometimes people drop it. I'm always so tempted to start a dog pile.
Just dive on top of it. Like Charlie Brown style.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. All right, very nice. Moving on. Okay.
Next.
I'm not going to choose all of these, but we got a lot. Okay. I want to choose a few more.
Yes.
So a lot of people, okay. Are you ready to get a little deep? Okay.
Let's go.
Because I got one left with sports and I have one left with non-sports. What do
Ooh,
you want
life.
first?
Let's go life first. And then
Life first.
Yeah, well, then we'll bring it back.
Okay. The aforementioned Kay Fissel wrote in Christmas present wrapping. And I laughed because, no offense to you or anything, but you are one of the worst Christmas present wrappers of all time. And
True.
it's so
True.
funny.
True or false? True.
True. Very true. And
Yeah.
like, if I could describe the way Rocky wraps presents, okay?
I tried
so-
really hard to get it
You
right.
do.
though.
But like what happens is like imagine a square box, okay? And you tape the present up, and then you do the sides, okay? Imagine you start trying to do the sides really neatly, then all of a sudden you just go, tape, 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 tape. And that's what Rocky.
Can't get the right crease sometimes.
So it made me laugh
I'm not
when
gonna
I
sit
saw.
there for 2 hours getting it right.
Is it so?
Is,
have you
is
ever-
the full present? Is the full present hidden from view?
Yes.
Success.
you could probably wrap
Does it
five
say to
presents.
Andrew Love Rocky? Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Success.
It is a success. I just thought it was really funny.
Is the present awesome?
Most of the time, yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, I agree. Well, I just thought it was when I saw that come across, I started laughing because
That is really funny.
and it might become like a good idea, maybe like to do bags or something one day.
Nah, then I gotta buy the bag.
Don't you buy
Well,
the?
then I'm gonna
wrapping
get. Then
paper?
I'm gonna be the person who does gift wrapping the worst because I don't know how to put that stupid tissue paper in pleasantly enough. I just throw it in there. You can still see the thing in the bag.
Oh, listen, it's harder than you think. I'd love for people 609-807-2492 or get on the gram, but I would love for people to chime in and let us know about your Christmas present wrapping because I can only go off the experience of presents I've received in my lifetime. But again, I'm not trying to be mean. It's just like if I had to rate, you would be the last person. You'd be.
Yeah, thanks. I mean, you don't have to. We told them already. Why are we telling them again?
Sports related before we get done.
Let's go.
Okay. You indicting the Astros on this cheating scandal?
I don't know if I care.
Because a bunch really.
Well, you told me that they were actually like buzzing in and stuff,
Yeah,
and
they
like
were, like-
yelling fastball.
Yeah, like essentially they were making noises to determine
So if
which pitch was coming.
if it comes down to that, then I would be very disappointed in the Astros because I found myself cheering for that team.
I
And-
really like them.
Yeah, and now I'm. It's just like what's legitimate anymore.
Agreed.
I thought this only happened in Italian Serie A, where people were fixing games. I didn't realize we were doing this.
The Black
in-
Sox scandal all over again.
It's crazy.
So let me ask you this. Okay?
Baseball just littered.
And I'm going to give the common person maybe that doesn't know fully about the story a little background.
Are we going to indict Major League Baseball on juicing the ball if we're going to indict the Astros on stealing signs?
I mean, I don't know. Is it the same conversation?
I mean, they're both cheating.
Yeah, but I think Major League Baseball is not necessarily cheating because at the end of the day, they can always do whatever the heck they want to do.
Then
'Cause-
let Barry Bonds and A-Rod in the Hall of Fame.
It's a fair point because if you're going to do things that are going to juice your statistics based on the baseball, you need to allow those dudes who you let take steroids.
You got the same result.
You let them take
Did you
steroids.
not want more home runs?
You did.
You wanted more home runs. You wanted more scoring. They gave that to you.
So you're saying that if you're the Houston Astros and you get the hammer slammed on you because of this cheating scandal,
I think
you
there's-
come back with you're lying about the baseballs.
Now I'm probably coming back with there's 10 other teams doing the same thing.
Probably. I wouldn't be surprised. See, okay, given the background, then we can dive in. For those of you that may not fully know, the Houston Astros in 2017, okay, are being accused of stealing signs via electronics, okay, and then not only just like stealing the signs and using the information, but then also using more systems to be able to tell their players what pitch was coming when, so that they had the opportunity to be successful, okay?
That's very elaborate.
Part of the issue, it's a lot of effort. And like some things have been said, like they were banging a trash can if like it was a fastball, or like they had wristbands on that like buzzed if it was a certain pitch, right? Whatever the details are, okay, I think, and this is where I want your opinion, I think I never agreed necessarily with vacating championships because unfortunately they've already been played out. I understand your want to vacate championships, but I think what the move is in terms of punishment is, I think, like Sean Payton in football, you should suspend A.J. Hinch for a year. You should suspend the GM for a year. Whoever you deem directly involved with this situation, suspend them for a year. And in that same year, don't allow the Astros to play in the postseason. Don't. Because you're not going to go back and deem another team the World Series champion.
The vacating is the blacklist of a lifetime and beyond. It's a legacy. No matter who looks at the record books, the Astros from 2017 will be a team that cheated. That's the punishment. So you can keep them from the playoffs in the future? You can't do that in Major League Sports. You pay these people too much money. They'll go on strike.
Yeah, but at the same time, they're the people that are causing this issue.
Maybe.
So
maybe
don't they
not.
have to get in trouble? So you're telling me that, like, if you find out that these players openly knew that they were cheating, you're not going to punish these dudes for cheating? You're not going to punish anyone? And just
I'm
say,
not saying you don't punish them, but you can't tell them they're not going to the postseason. Like,
so what's the punishment?
you vacate their championship.
But that's-
and
but-
then you suspend the coach and the GM for a year.
And that's it.
What else can you
Do you-
do? There's
but-
too much money.
But do you take their rings back? Like, do you see what I'm saying?
could.
Like, I mean, I guess you could, but like, what if they sold them?
I'm telling you, you're gonna wear a ring for a vacated championship. You've been called a cheater your whole life. You're gonna bring that upon yourself at all times.
No, I probably would not wear that ring. So
but
yeah,
I'm keeping it.
yeah, you're gonna openly. I'm gonna sell it. Is what I'm gonna do.
I mean, listen. There's people that probably don't want to participate in it.
People literally want the owner to sell the team.
Well, that's ridiculous. That's a pretty big asset. What are the Houston Astros worth?
The only other thing I could say on this, right, is that at the end of the day, I think it's better to err on the side of being really hard
I'm going on strike if you keep me out of the playoffs.
on the organization. Well, yeah, but isn't that a punishment in its own self? Then
For those who
fine.
care, the Houston Astros are worth $1.45 billion in 2017.
Wow. So that's got to be more now. So if you're selling that team, what are you selling for? $2 million? $2 billion? Excuse me. Imagine that.
Not with that black mark. Their value goes down. I'm buying for 1.25.
Yeah. Real drop in the market. I think that's it though. You have to come down hard. You have to.
Yeah,
'Cause-
because you're not going to keep them out of the playoffs.
No, you probably can't ban him from postseason play. But I think Hinch probably maybe.
Has there
maybe
ever been
this is why
a
Hinch-
professional sports team that has to vacate? Because this is very college of us to determine a vacation.
That's funny. You know, honestly, I don't know. I
It's
don't
not
know.
like the Black Sox won
the World Series. They didn't.
No, they did.
No, they did not.
No, they did not.
Yeah.
So
No, I agree with you. And Shoeless Joe Jackson was the best performer in that World Series. That's a whole other debate.
he didn't want to do it.
Yeah, I agree. No, the only thing you've really
just
seen
got
is the
roped in.
banishment of Pete Rose. That's the only thing you've really seen. And then the
which-
blackballedness of Barry Bonds and the steroid users, Mark McGuire, all those guys.
Just put Pete Rose in the Hall of Fame already. What are
I
you
agree.
waiting for?
I agree with you. But that's what I'm saying. Like, if you're going to ban Pete Rose for that long for doing that, how are you not going to really come down hard on people that actually physically, like Pete Rose wasn't affecting the outcomes of the games like He was betting on. That's a whole nother debate. But my point being, they won a championship because they cheated.
Listen, I think it's amazing.
And it
that
can be
for
determined.
3 years, that many players were in and out of the dugout, and not one person said anything till now.
True.
Like, that's why it's like
Like-
how extensive is it? Is there like maybe one or two guys that they do it for and no one else because they can't let too many people know?
Well, like my thing, it's a good point, and that's why I'm curious to find out what happens with Carlos Beltran, because
Oh, God.
apparently he's supposed to be.
What a bad hire. What a bad hire.
I think someone wrote in, "Why haven't the Mets signed Dylan Betances?" That made me laugh. It's like, come on.
What do we need
It-
Dylan Betances for?
Insert anyone that we should say. Why didn't the Mets sign this person? We have a lot of people agreeing with us though, on the Facebook, so I appreciate that.
Oh, yeah?
Because I think
That's
I mean
exciting.
like I think we're regular sports
Feel free
guys.
to disagree. 609-807-2492.
He's learning, people. He's learning. Okay. What you'll also learn is that you should move on from topics, so we're moving on from this topic, okay? I do want to shout out Sean O'Neill. He was a very avid or supporter of the Instagrams, okay? And he wrote something that made me laugh, and he said this: Rhode Island, neither a road nor an island.
One of life's many mysteries.
One of life's many mysteries. Last one right here. I asked the people, because you asked me to ask the people, so I asked them for you. What sport is more violent? Okay. The choices are football or hockey. Closer than I thought. I think I knew where the answer to this question was going, but football won at 56% of the vote, and hockey came in with to equal 100 would be 44% of the vote.
I also voted for football.
Really?
Yes.
So why'd you have me ask the question?
Because I wanted to see what everyone else said.
Did you believe that people would think hockey was a more violent sport?
No, I was just curious. I mean, based on what happened with Myles Garrett and based on the fact that in hockey you're actually allowed to fight, right? There's a different take on it. But in both sports, you could have instances where people become extremely violent.
Now, when we talk about violence in the sports, don't we feel like in football it's one type of violence compared to in hockey? Because like in hockey, I don't think the average play in the game is violent. I think in football, more times than not, the average play in the game is intended to be violent.
Yes, and I think in hockey it's just too much. It's more difficult to understand as a game than in football is.
Well, now and it's not necessarily on the violent or not violent point, but is that also why you feel like it's hard for people to fully dive into the sport of hockey? Because watching it on TV and seeing it in person are two different things, and then furthermore, sometimes understanding the game doesn't come easy to humans.
Here's what I chalk it up to. So the entire world population, for the most part, I get there's people, right, can walk or run, pick up a ball, throw it, and catch it. For the most part, everyone can relate to that. In hockey, over 50% of the population can't even skate.
Right.
So immediately they can't relate to what's happening on the ice. So
you
it's
lose half the world.
You can't even relate to it.
Right.
So that's why it's a smaller. Anyone can run and kick a soccer ball.
And it's so funny, though, because you hear a lot of people say, over the course, at least the people I've met in the sports world, oh, man, I really wish I was a hockey player. And I'm like, dude, I'm so pumped that I was a hockey player because,
Yeah.
like, I realize now how many people actually wish they had the ability to play that game.
If you
And
can't skate, you can't play.
right. That's a great
That's
point.
it.
Like, in theory, I could walk up with a bat in my hand and attempt to hit a ball that's being thrown at me.
That's right.
You
You may
know.
not be good at it.
Right, but you can do that.
You can try because you can walk and you can
Yeah.
move your body.
You can't take somebody's pair of ice skates
No.
and just roll up to the rink
and be like, oh, I'm good.
let's roll.
That's
You guys
fine.
want to play 5-on-5? All right,
Yeah.
let's drop the sticks. We'll go. Right? I agree with you 100%. And that's why I knew the violence would come back on the football side of things when you ask the people.
And listen, again, it's more public.
But I was curious to know how many people still thought hockey was a violent sport.
Well, listen, when you have a sport that is fighting, then people are going to assume
Violence.
the violence.
And hitting. I mean, hitting is a big factor in that.
There is.
Because you assume that women's soccer is not physical until you stand and watch a women's soccer game and realize how physical it is. But because hitting's not allowed, people assume it's not physical. No. It's the exact opposite. I would argue the same thing with a lot of other sports.
Basketball is physical.
Same thing, right? You think, oh, there's no hitting in basketball, but if you go sit floor side on a Division I basketball game, that's one of the most physical things you'll ever see. If circumstances.
If the refs
Generating.
aren't being paid
Right.
to get the score right.
Sure, that's
For them.
very. Wow, those are some hard accusations you just threw out there.
I mean, The proof is in the pudding. I mean, just go to the data.
That's it.
Let's go to the data.
Just go to the data. All right.
That says basketball referees.
Before we move forward, I really appreciate the people that chimed in on the Instagram. I appreciate the people chiming in on the Facebook. It always fires us up when you want to get on the Rome show and you want to be a part of it. I say the phone number all the time. I'm not upset when people don't call in, right?
Not when we're together.
And even when you're not here, I'm not going to lie to you. Here's my thing, okay? And I'm going to let the people know this. I want you to call in. I could talk to myself for an hour.
We know.
We know, right? Everybody knows.
I'm bad at wrapping presents. You're great at talking.
I'm great at talking, right? Yeah, fair, okay? So if there's no phone calls ever in this show's history, yeah, it would get me upset a little bit, but at the end of the day, I'll go on. Why I want people to know the phone number, okay, is because all the time, Rocky, all the time, people come with this line. Yo, when am I going to be on the show?
Call in.
Dude, call in.
609-807-2492.
I mean, so it's my response now. It's like, you can call in anytime. And the amount of
Whenever you
people
want.
that I get
They're afraid of the phone.
that are like, yo, I'm going to call in. I'm like, yo, 7 o'clock, you're home from work, let's go. And that's okay. But I just want people to know
You can call.
you can call. So you could be on the show literally whenever you want. And honestly, I think we're pretty nice here. You were on twice last week. I don't really hang up on people.
No.
We're not going to Francesa human beings on this show.
Why would we?
We welcome the human beings. And just a reminder, if you didn't, listen to this full show, or you wanted to hear some of the shenanigans going on at the beginning of the show, or someone says to you, oh, what was that show you were listening to at 7 o'clock? It seemed awesome. The Rome Show podcast will actually be released this week. I failed at that last week. I'm sorry. The Rome Show podcast will be released this week on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your podcast. So remind your friends that it is okay to miss the live show. It's not okay to miss either of the two shows. So just understand where I'm coming from on that one.
What's next?
Oh, I mean, we could go so many different places.
So many different places. I mean,
Okay.
I think we've had a good discussion regarding athletics.
I agree with you 100%, and that's the idea here on the Rome Show. Now, I'll remind you, okay? It's 7:54.
Should we talk about
I am
the?
just
Should we
dyslexic
talk about
all
Monday
night.
Night Football?
Yeah, absolutely. We can get into that.
I mean, it's only coming on in like 20 minutes. Well, it's not coming on in 5 minutes because 8 o'clock is not when we start games. We start games at 8:24.
8:20. Yeah,
Or 8:20.
down in Estadio Azteca in Mexico.
Estadio Azteca is where
Yeah.
they are. Yeah, turf is good this year.
That's it. I heard that. So they'll actually play the game.
That's right.
What is it? The Chargers versus the Chiefs.
Yeah, this was the high-scoring game at the Coliseum last
All
year.
right, I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen.
Tell
Wait,
me.
no. I thought that was the Rams and the Chiefs.
Yeah, it was. That was the game that was supposed to happen at Estadio Azteca.
Oh, but this is the Chargers.
Yeah, they just swapped out LA teams.
Okay, so both teams from LA. Got it.
Yeah.
Check. Here, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen in
Tell
this
me.
Monday Night Football game tonight. Okay. The Chargers are going to hold on to some minute lead for majority of the game. You're going to watch. It's going to be like 24 to 14 with like 3.5 minutes left. Okay. Patrick Mahomes is going to drive, score a touchdown.
Okay.
Somehow the Chargers are going to turn the football over.
Ruben, are you writing this down?
Patrick Mahomes is going to drive, score another touchdown, and we're going to sit there and go, I don't shit. The Chargers led for 56.5 minutes,
Yeah.
and they didn't win this football
It
game
probably sounds about right.
per every game they've ever played.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that was what will happen
But
today.
hey, Philip Rivers is better than Eli.
27-24. That's my prediction. Chiefs. And it's going to be a late game for the Chiefs because it's just how the Chargers operate.
Can I give you my prediction?
You can. Yeah, it's not going to happen any differently, but go get them.
All right, so it's going to be 18-15,
Oh,
and
my God, that's a terrible football game.
because they're in Mexico City, it's the Estadio
Isn't it
Azteca.
like 2 miles up or something like that?
They're only going to kick field goals.
Oh, the altitudes. The altitudes.
It's a soccer stadium.
Yeah.
That's the joke.
Oh, I get what you're saying.
Oh, wow, definitely missed on that one. I'll take it
That
back.
went straight over my head.
18-15, all field goals.
I see.
Because they have to kick it.
Yeah. Oh, so football is
Yeah.
playing. I got it now. That's funny. That's good stuff. All right. Well,
Yeah, thanks for the
18
pity.
1850. It says that's you're lying. You really think that's gonna happen?
No.
Oh.
No, I think it'd be sweet.
So what's your realistic opinion?
28-24.
Oh. All right. Wow. Okay. So
Chiefs.
1 point higher. Really original. All right. One thing I could address.
Your argument for what was going to happen was so compelling.
It
that I
was.
decided that I would just take it.
I do that often.
I don't know, but watch. It's going to be 18-15 now because this is what happens to me in fantasy.
Yes,
I'm like, oh, I
yeah.
should choose this guy.
You
And then I'm like,
second guess.
nah.
But didn't you learn nothing from Scantron tests in middle school?
Fill
Whenever-
in the circles?
Yeah, and when your gut instinct says A first, and then you have that creep in of, maybe it's C, it's never C.
No, it's always A.
It's always A.
Yeah. So 18-15.
There you go. All right.
All field goals.
All field goals, 18-15. I really hope that happens.
It's like when the Eagles and Cowboys play each other. Everyone's like, "Oh, are you gonna watch? Are you cheering for anyone?" I'm like, "No, they're gonna tie 0-0."
Yeah, that's how I feel when the Yankees were in the Phillies were in the World Series that one time. Just a bunch of 0-0 ties. Here's the deal. Okay, we have two things left in our 7 minutes. All right, I have what's called deal or no deal. I'm not going to give you the parameters on either. You have to choose which one comes first. I like this game, honestly. Or I have Romalytics, which is a staple on the Rome Show since the inception in June of 2019. Okay, what would you rather first?
Deal or no deal?
Deal or no deal. Okay. Deal or no deal. I wish I had some like really cool game show music. Ruben, do we have game show music? It'd be awesome if we had game show music. That's what I got it.
Yeah, I get it.
You know, do. Oh no, it's not. That's not what we're looking.
80s questionable.
Dun, 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 dun. All right, deal or no deal. Here it is. Ready? Okay. So you have to make a decision. You can either trade these two players for one, the player that I give you,
Okay.
or you can't. Okay? Deal or no deal. We keep it simple.
Let's go.
Here's the deal. Your first one. Would you trade Saquon Barkley and Daniel Jones for Russell Wilson?
No.
Wow. Why?
Saquon Barkley is the future. He's played 2
I
years.
thought we just had this running back conversation.
I don't care. He is the generational talent.
So you would rather
He's better than Ezekiel Elliott.
you don't think the Giants offense gets better right now with Russell Wilson?
Why would I want to give up that guy and watch him just break records running balls for Seattle Seahawks?
You don't have do we know that that's going to happen though?
Yes.
When's the last time Seattle's had a good running back since Marshawn Lynch left?
They have Russell Wilson, but if they don't have Russell Wilson because he's on the Giants, well, then they're going to give the ball to Saquon.
Are they as good though? Are the Giants better? That's what I'm saying.
No,
you
they're
gotta-
not better. That's why I'm not
Wow.
making the deal.
All right, well, I disagree with you. I make the deal. I'm getting Russell. I got Russell for the next 10 years, and it's more than what I got for Saquon.
So dumb.
All right, whatever. You can disagree.
I dis-
Call in. It's 609-807-249. Call in. All right. Okay. Number 2. Khalil Mack and Mitchell Trubisky. Okay. For Aaron Rodgers.
No.
Really?
No. Who's Aaron Rodgers going to throw the football to?
Allen Robinson.
One guy. One guy.
He's got Greg Olson. No, that's not them.
Greg Olson?
No. Trey Burke. Trey
Greg
Burke.
Olson, the-
Trey Burke.
Jeez.
Trey Burke. Yeah, you're right. You don't think Aaron Rodgers can at least
Khalil
make
Mack-
that team better?
Defense wins championships.
So, and I guess my thing is they're 4-6. So, like, if they're bad with
The
them both,
Denver Broncos won a Super Bowl, and Peyton Manning played in a wheelchair. Like,
All right,
you
I
just
get
need
it.
a good defense and someone who can manage the clock and score you a drive at the end of a football
I
game.
did not know these deal or no deal questions were going to get you so fired up. This is great. Okay, 2 more because I want to get in the Romalytics too. This is fantastic. This one hits your heart. Would you trade? And for those non-hockey people out there, we're about to get a little hockey. Okay, so just handle it. All right. Would you trade Artemi Panarin and Alexander Georgiev, for those, just a reference, one of the offensive players for the Rangers and the goalkeeper that's supposed to be succeeding Henrik Lundqvist, who most people know, for Connor McDavid, who's also considered one of the best players in the league?
I would actually consider this one,
Would you?
but no deal.
But because you love Artemi.
I love Artemi. I went to the
Panarin,
game last week. He was amazing.
and you love him.
Well, I just think it was one of the best free agent signings in my lifetime as a New York Rangers fan.
Explain to the novice hockey fan real quick why.
Because the Rangers are historically bad free agent pickers. They always get people at the end of their career.
Okay.
So they've already done everything.
I.e. Wayne Gretzky.
You could argue, yeah, exactly. You could argue, Jaromir
Jaromir
Jagr.
Jagr,
Which,
yeah.
listen, he scored a lot of goals.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
Rick Nash, another one.
still
Martin
playing.
St. Louis. Like, there's so many examples in my history with the Rangers
Sure.
that say they've never tried to rebuild. They've always just gone pay old free agents.
Yep.
And this time they've stuck to a plan and they've signed someone that can actually help them win a championship.
Sure. Okay, that makes sense.
And
Wow.
I'm invested in their plan.
I thought by saying Connor McDavid, who's like second in the league in goals right now. I know.
Connor McDavid single-handedly beat the Rangers at the game I went to a couple
And
weeks
he's
ago.
so good.
Yeah,
He is. And if you have a chance to watch some hockey, Connor McDavid's somebody on that list. Okay, last one. Okay.
I should say deal to that, but I'm just, I'm a fan.
You're just being a true fan.
No, I'm not an analyst.
Which is why you got mad at Saquon. All right.
Yeah.
Would you trade two-time NL Cy Young Award winner Jacob deGrom for Mike Trout?
No.
Really?
You win on pitching.
I know, but we're not winning with him. So if we got Mike Trout and
I
still
got
have
two
good
Cy
pitchers,
Youngs. I got two Cy Youngs.
you do. I know. That's right.
If I'm not gonna get a World
You don't
Series,
think Mike Trout makes the current Mets good now?
If Terry
without
Collins
DeGrom?
wasn't the manager, we would have beat the Royals.
No. If Jay Reese Familia stopped quick pitching and Lucas Duda could throw the ball home.
True. Anyways, why would I want to give up Jacob deGrom? He's the best pitcher that I've ever seen in my lifetime.
I think you're taking these two personally.
You're asking me fan-related questions.
I understand. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Here's my thought.
If you want a GM perspective, ask me questions about teams I don't like.
The Orlando Magic. No.
There we go.
The thing for me, I guess, on that one was there's enough good pitching they have. I guess you'd have to throw in something with the Mike Trout probably to lose the Jacob deGrom. But he's the best player in baseball. He won an MVP with playing 100 games.
But he could go 4 for 4 with 4 home runs
And lose 5-4.
and lose.
I get that. But DeGrom could go 8 innings and give up no runs and lose. We watched it happen for a full
For 2
year.
years. I mean, his whole career.
For his whole career, we've watched him.
No,
So
you're right about that. So that argument.
wow,
went down the tubes.
I'm letting all you people know right now. We're bringing Deal or No Deal back because that got fired. That got Rocky fired up. I got people saying trade Saquon. I know 2 big fans that would rip down Giant Stadium.
Honestly, trade Saquon is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Mom said you think long and you think wrong.
Excuse me?
I don't know what that means. But that's what she said. All right, we got a minute left here on the show.
Sorry, I cut in your analytics.
I don't care. I'm just gonna give you the analytics real quick, and I feel like they're deserving to be said on the air. Then we're gonna shout out the people, Ruben, and then we're gonna be done. All right, here's the deal. All right, the Patriots with their win this weekend against the Philadelphia Eagles, okay, secured their 19th straight winning season. Okay,
Impressive.
that dates back to 2001. Their last losing season was 2000. They were 5-11. Over the course of that 19 years, they've won 229 games. They've lost only 64. And that's good for a 77 winning percentage.
Wow.
Those are your Romalytics today.
Wow.
That's why I wanted to get that in so bad.
Incredible.
It's incredible, right? And I'm sorry, and I'm a Dolphins fan, but you just can't hate on that success.
How could you?
You can't hate on that success. Shout out to Jamie Quinn, Grandma Angie, Mark Ferraro, Enzo. Oh, man, we got a lot of people. Debbie Romanella, of course. Duke Baxter, Katie Fissel, John Murillo with a let's go
John Murillo. What up, bro?
on the Facebook. And all of the people, and I've said it before, I'll say it again, all of the people that are on the Instagram tuning into the Rome Show, we super appreciate. This is our new time.
Love it.
This is our new time. Unfortunately, you might not get used to Rocky being here all the time, although he's always welcome. But, having, a child, sometimes timing it at night doesn't always work out on a Monday, but you're more than welcome at all times.
Thanks for having me.
We appreciate Hamilton Radio. We appreciate my guy, Rube, the best producer in the world. Come back next week, Monday. I think it's like November, I don't know. What's today, the 17th? I'm going to guess the 24th.
+7.
Okay, November 24th. Come back, listen to The Rome Show, Hamilton Radio, Channel 2, Facebook.com. That's Andrew.Romanella. For my brother, Rocky Romanella, for 360 Management Services. Shout out VM Sports, VM-sports.com. Your host, Andrew Romanella. This is The Rome Show, and we are out.
See ya.
Are you looking to become a better leader, whether that's in business, in sports, or in life, and you haven't found a book yet to help you get to that game-changing aha moment? Well, we have the book for you. Tighten the Lug Nuts, The Principles of Balanced Leadership. Tighten the Lug Nuts will help you get to that game-changing leadership moment. Available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and iBooks, or at 360managementservices.com. That's the number 360managementservices.com. Pick up your copy today and start changing your leadership styles.
Now it's time.
Emo. You be the judge. Do this look like work to you? Nah. Looking at the lights like it's all